Hi, this is Vicki from Learning Home Volunteers, and welcome to our new learning session on transportation. This session we will be exploring different modes of transportation through literature and through play. Most of your children have used public transportation starting from a few days after they were born as they came home from the hospital to your house for the very first time. Soon they will get to try a scooter or a bike, maybe even get to ride a bus or a train. There are so many ways to get around, and so many kids are interested in vehicles of all sorts. We thought a learning session on them would be well received. We have three books for this session. Our first book is The Wheels on the Bus, a song by Raffi, who in the 80s came up with this great song about the wheels on the bus and the people that come and go and the different parts of the bus, all sung to this kind of catchy tune. It's fun to read, it's fun to sing, and in our session we hope to get us all together to do a little Raffi sing along with the wheels on the bus. Our next book is a book called I Stink, and it's about a garbage truck. This garbage truck collects trash in alphabetical order. Wow. I thought recycling was hard, but certainly doing it in alphabetical order would be even harder. And our last book here is a wonderfully illustrated book called Freight Train. The pictures invoke the sensation of riding on a train for me and for all our train aficionados out there, include many different types of train cars that could be actually attached to a freight train, and I'm sure we will get to name them all before the session is over. So let's take a look at our first activity. Our first activity is actually a game. It's a game that we typically play here in the United States. It's called Red Light, Green Light. Great game to get kids moving and to encourage children to listen and respond with careful concentration and controlled movement. Someone controls the stoplight, and the objective is to get to the person holding the stoplight first. When the stoplight shows green, you could move towards the person holding the sign, and when the person holding the sign says stop and shows the red light, you must freeze in place. If you move at all during the red light, you have to go back to the beginning and start over again. Super fun, really fun to play with a small group and a large group of people. This is activity number 2. It's a memory game, and actually, memory games continues with kind of our theme of concentration and focus. Memory games are a great way to help children work on their working memory. Working memory is simply the number of things you can remember simultaneously, and it's a skill that helps us work on more complex later in school. The game also works on our concentration and focus, but we've included this because it has different kinds of vehicles shown on the cards and gives us an opportunity to learn 18 different modes of transportation. And I've listed all of the English names here. You'll find pictures of a bicycle, a boat, a digger, a double decker bus, a school bus, a car, a cement truck, a dump truck, a fire truck, helicopter, plane, rocket, blimp, truck, pickup truck, submarine, tractor, and an 18-wheeler. To play, you want to select a set of match pairs. I would start with a few sets just to make the game easy to understand. And then you mix up those pairs and put them face down in rows. The first person can choose any two cards to turn over, and if they match, then the pair is theirs to keep. If it does not match or make a pair like the one we're seeing here with the digger and the tractor, you turn them down, face down again, and the next person in line gets a turn. Obviously, the last cards you play with that are matched pairs, the easier it is to be able to remember what those are, where they're located, than when you have a whole bunch. Our next activity, activity number 3, is a piece of paper that has a picture of a truck. And the idea is you'll choose a number by putting one of those numbered squares that you're going to cut out in kind of the hole, and then the child must choose the corresponding number of pom-poms to match. Load the truck up with a corresponding number of pom-poms to match that number. So in this case, the number was 4, and indeed they loaded up 4 different objects in the truck itself. This is a really great way to be able to work on print number recognition, but also counting. There's lots of loading and unloading to get done, so you better get started. Well, that's it for this week of activities. Come back for next week for more activities and books.